In this lesson, we are going to have a look at this. What does def change mean? What does this colon mean? What does do t mean? What does a colon in front and a colon behind actually mean? So we're going to have a look at this. And to do this, we need to move away from Rails and try this on its own. So cd dot dot and make directory called Ruby. Change into the Ruby directory and make another directory called library, and then touch into library, create a new file called persons.ruby, and then we want to make another file called main.rb, and you can clear that. So what we've basically done is go to desktop and our projects. We've created a Ruby folder, we've created a library folder, and we have a main, and in library we have a person library. That's what we've done. Okay, so Sublime dot, and we open up our new practice folder. Okay, so double click on person to have that open. So what we do, we create a module. So it's a module greet, so that's how it's done. And within modules, we define what's called methods. So method definition. We'll call this introduce. And basically, I want this method to simply introduce myself. My name is Kingsley. And n. Okay, well, we can add another method definition, study, and this basically says Kingsley studies software testing. Okay, so that's this is a module. A module is a reusable code that you can use in different parts of your project. So let's say we have main.rb and we want to use our files from our module. First, we require the file that module is created in, and then we include the actual module within our main.rb. So this is, just bringing this in. This is how Rails work. And now that we've done that, we want to use these methods, call the methods. And to do that, you simply just say introduce. Alright, so to run it, make sure that you're in your Ruby folder and just say Ruby space main.rb. Okay, so we haven't exactly said to print, so I'm going to come here and just say P for print. So when we run this program again, it should run introduce and say something. So that's it. My name is Kingsley. Has been printed on the screen. So we've just created a method, we've run that method definition, and that's the first part. So now, when we come down here, we could say study, and this will call the other method. Now it says Kingsley studies software testing. Alright, so now we can see or slightly understand this code here. So method definition calls create table method. Alright, so let's see what else we can do with a method. So methods, what if I wanted to control the name of the person being introduced? What if I want to say introduce Jane, like this, for example? Let's try and run this. Obviously, there will be errors, but we'll learn from error. So the error says we have wrong number of arguments. So we have a new word for our program vocabulary. We have one argument provided where 0 was required. So we now know that there's something called arguments that methods accept. So we can give this introduce method an argument called name. So when we call this, we can put this as parentheses like this. It still works, but it's a bit more readable if we just left it out like this. So now that we have passed in an argument into this method, we can basically use it within the method like this. So I want to add this here, put plus sign. So I'm basically joining the string on the left and the string on the right together. So if I run this again, oh, my Jane is Kingsley. No, that wasn't what I was trying to do. So I've added this in the wrong place. So just undo that. What I want to do is get rid of Kingsley and say plus, and then put our argument name there. Alright, so when we run this now, it says my name is Jane. So we have learned about arguments, but look at this plus sign. What's this plus sign actually doing? So it happens, this plus sign has a word attached to it, which is called concatenation. It's not here. If I just search concatenate, that's it. So it was right under my nose. So that's concatenation. So it's a good word to write down. Programming is really about just learning the different words. So this is used here to join something to a string. So concatenate is what is referred to. But what happens if we put it in here instead? If we put name there without concatenating it? And let's see what happens. We run this. It says my name is name. So basically anything within quotations it will be considered as a string. But there's another way of doing this. So I could say name like this, and really single quotations are for characters and double quotations are for multiple characters or strings. So it should really be double quotations. So now that we've done slightly different, it says my name is Jane. So it works exactly as we want it to. Alright, so we could change Jane to Ken, and everything works immediately as expected. So what exactly is this that we've written? So this is another word. So this is interpolate, interpolation. So it's a different way of making use of variables within strings. So we'll put this in here and we can print with it. So essentially what happens is when we say double quotation, it says, oh, there's a string, and it reads from left to right. But when we put this here, we say first evaluate this and then read from left to right. So another word to remember, interpolation, interpolate. You can use that to search when you're stuck, and that's what programming is about, learning new programming words. So we've learned about a few things, method definition, and arguments. So we'll carry on in the next two videos, and I'll see you in the next lesson.